Good afternoon, beauties. Hi. So I'm Kate. Welcome to Light on Lotus. We are filming for Heart Alchemy. Thank you. You're going to take your hands open and place your hands on your lap. And imagine you've got a giant bouquet of flowers just resting in your hands. So this is the Pushpaputa Mudra, and it literally means handful of flowers. So it's a symbolic gesture and offering, maybe to someone you love, maybe for your own altar, sort of a gift, if you will, offering it up. And also receiving the springtime energy, receiving the blessings that are all around you, receiving goodwill. And being aware of what you're putting out there and what you're getting back and how that exchange works. So you can deepen your breath. So the breath in and the breath out start to even out. Start to get a little fuller, a little richer. Maybe with a slight whispering through the back of the throat. You can allow the weight to shift back just slightly into the sitting bones, into the tailbone, so you feel yourself rooted into the present. And keeping the hands open, keeping your mind, your body, your spirit open. You can take your arms up with your big breath in and take it into a high prayer. You can even gaze up to your thumbs. Then draw the prayer right down into the heart space. You're going to roll the shoulders back and feel the shoulder blades draw together and allow the arms to open or the hands to open like a book. And then pull the elbows back as if you're sort of squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Yeah. And then reach your hands forward. Yeah. So it's like you're giving it up. And then take that again. Inhale, lift the arms high. You can lift your gaze with it. Pull the hands down through the midline. Roll the shoulder heads back, turn the hands open, and offer it up. Stretch the arms up one more time. Pull it down through prayer. Roll the shoulder heads back. Take your hands behind you this time, tabletop. So lift your hips, lift everything you have, breathing in. And then you can let it out with the lion's breath. Lower yourself down. Come out onto all fours. And sit back into child's pose with your knees parallel to start. If your knees are sensitive, you might put a blanket underneath them. We're going to reach down through the shins and sweep the arms back up on a breath in. So it's lifting up off the shins, take the hands high. And then pull it down through the prayer as you lower your sitting bones down to your heels. And then there's that opening. The shoulders roll back, the hands open, the heart lifts, the throat lifts. And then exhale and spill forward with the palms open. Turn your hands to the ground and inhale up to all fours. You're going to start to circle around clockwise to the right. So on your hands and your knees. Again, if the knees are sensitive, a blanket might feel nice. You can take your knees hip width apart, your hands shoulder width apart. You're sort of stirring the pot a little bit. And notice how the knees and the wrists start to warm up. They might even creak or crack, release a little sound. Yeah, that's all part of it. You're going to take your hips and send them over toward the right heel and land in a fairly crooked child's pose. So the hips lean off to the right. Now walk your hands toward the left side of the mat. Yeah. And then see if you can sink down through the right shoulder and the right hip and breathe through the right side of the body in a big diagonal. Yeah. Stretching open through the right shoulder, the right armpit, even the intercostals between the ribs. Even deep in the right waist. And you'll help yourself back up through center. Lift up to all fours and take your right leg out to the side. So it's directly off the mat, toes turned to the front of the room. Inhale the right arm up, take a twist. So you can look up to your right hand and then thread the right arm underneath your left arm. Try to bring the back of the right deltoid onto the ground. And if it feels too far to place your head down, you might use a block underneath your head or a blanket, like a little pillow. Yeah. And then move the tailbone back. Bring the right ribs forward and the left ribs back. You can inhale your way back up. Take your right hand onto the mat underneath your shoulder. Tuck your left toes and then sink your hips back towards your left heel. So the hands can stretch out in front of you. Look forward between the thumbs. Try to keep the pinky toe edge of the right foot on the ground. Oh, hello. Then inhale your way back up, stretching your right leg behind you. Lift it from the inner right thigh. Draw the knee to the upper right arm. You're going wide. Step your foot outside your right hand. Yeah, super wide. Sweep the right arm forward, up, and behind you on a breath in. So you can even look along the right arm to the right thumb, and then wrap your right arm behind your back. Let your head fall off to the left shoulder. Breathe into the right side of your neck. So many angles in there to explore. You can circle the right arm back overhead, breathing in. Take it down to the inside of the right foot. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee with an inhale, and then step back into downward facing dog. So you can pedal out. Let your head release off the end of the neck. Open up through the backs of the legs. Get nice and even through the hands and feet. And then come out to plank pose on your next breath in. So move the heart forward and the heels back at the same time. Knees, chest, chin on your exhale. So the knees lower first and the heart melts between the hands. The chin reaches forward. The hips stay lifted for a breath. And then slide out into cobra, inhaling. So we're going to come back to this full pranam. It's a big gesture, right? It's like, here it is. Turn the palms up, reach your hands out in front of you, and release your third eye down. Yeah, as if you could both give and receive goodwill, blessings, slide the hands by your shoulders. Draw the elbows into the ribs. Lift up for a baby cobra, inhaling. And then you're going to press back into child's pose on your exhale. Feel the hip creases deepen as the sitting bones grow heavier. And come up to all fours. We're going to circle around to the left. So we're going counterclockwise now. So it's loose and swirly and circular. And then your hips are going to lean off to the left heel, and your hands can walk forward and off to the right. Get a little heavier through the left hip, the left shoulder. Breathing into the side body. And you can walk your hands back through center, come up on an inhale. The left leg's straight out to the side, directly out of the hip. Left foot pointing to the front of the room. Pinky toe edge down. Inhale the left arm up. And then thread it through, weave it under the right arm. Moving the left thigh bone back. Reaching to the right side of the room with the left hand. You can come up with a breath in, plant your left hand on the mat, tuck the right toes, exhale, move your right sitting bone towards your right heel. So it's almost like your right side is in child's pose with the toes tucked. Yeah. You might be feeling a really big opening through the inner thigh, mostly. And then come on up. The left leg lifts behind you with the breath in. So sweep it back. Yeah. Lift your gaze too. And then draw the knee to the upper left arm. So it comes out to the side. And then step your left foot to the outside of the hand. Yeah. Sweep the left arm forward, up overhead, and back behind you with the breath in. And then open the palm toward the left side of the space. Circle the left arm behind your back. So you have to internally rotate the shoulder. Roll the left shoulder back and then release your head to the right. Yeah. There it is. And take the left arm back overhead. Release it to the ground on the inside of the left foot. Tuck your right toes. Inhale, lift your right knee up off the mat. So it's a nice wide lunge. And then downward facing dog, step it on back. Spreading through the fingers, lifting through the navel, reaching down through the heels. Plank pose, breathing in. Knees, chest, chin, breathing out. Lower down. And then slither through to cobra on your inhale. Roll the shoulder heads back, but hug the arm bones in slightly. Full pranam on your exhale. So the arms spill forward, palms up, third eye releasing down. Just feel your length. It's like you're just diving into the river, to the flow of life. And you can slide your hands back beside your ribs. Cobra, maybe grow a little higher off the ground. Breathing in, press your feet into the floor. And then downward facing dog this time. Tuck your toes, send your hips high. Reach the right leg up with an inhale. Circle the foot around a few times, wake up your ankle. And then bend the right knee, roll the hip open. Sorry, sugar. And then draw the left thigh back a little bit more and even out between your left and right waist and your left and right shoulder. There we go. Inhale the right knee to your upper right arm. Give it a tap. So we're going wide to the upper right tricep. And then step your right foot to the outside of the right hand. Circle the right arm forward, up, and back on the breath in. But keep your left knee lifted this time. Now the right arm is going to circle back overhead. Take your fingertips to the inside of the right foot. Spin your left heel down and straighten your right leg. Flexing through the right foot. You're welcome to use your blocks if you need them. Try that again. The right knee bends. The right arm circles up and back as you turn your heart to the right side of the room. And then circle it overhead. Spin the left heel down, straighten through the right leg, and flex through the foot. One more time like that, breathing in. So you're churning right through center. And breathing out, right hand overhead down to the inside of the right foot as you straighten through the right leg and flex. Now lunge forward, keep both hands on the mat, breathing in. Back toes can tuck. You're going to step your left foot to the outside of the left hand, Malasana. So nice and wide through the feet, mat width if you can. And reach into the ground with an inhale. We'll come all the way up to stand. So rise on up. Find a high prayer and then pull it right down through the midline, tracking the knees over the toes to lower. Hands back to the earth. Inhale the right leg back behind you. Reach forward through the heart. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Step it back. Plank pose, breathing in. Maybe chaturanga this time, lowering halfway. Rise up and open, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Roll the shoulder heads back. Curl back over your toes to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg stretches high, breathing in. Bend the left knee, roll the hip open. Get longer through the right waist And maybe a little bit of a lift through the right shoulder so it evens out with the left. Yes, thank you. Inhale the left knee to the upper left arm. Lift your belly and bring your shoulders over your wrists. And then step your left foot to the outside of the hand. Hey. The left arm reaches forward, up, and back. Breathing in. Turn your palm open. And then circle it back overhead. Spin the right heel down. Left hand to the inside of the left leg. Straighten the left leg and flex the foot maybe. So it's a little bit crooked and that's okay. Circle open to your twist. Breathing in. And then back overhead, lengthening through the left leg, spinning the right heel down. We're going to be so ready for triangle. Circle it back into your twist one more time, breathing in. Circle it overhead, straighten the left leg. Now lunge forward, the left knee is on the outside of the left arm. Step your right foot to the outside of the right hand and lower into Malasana. So turn the toes out slightly. Take your feet a little wider, Michael. Just a little bit. Yeah. Rise up to stand, breathing in. Reach down to rise up. Take your hands in your high prayer. And then sink back down with control, with evenness between the right and left leg. Release the hands down. Step your left leg back on an inhale. So the right knee's still on the outside of the arm. It's okay. Downward facing on your exhale. Plank pose, breathing in. Lowering halfway on the breath out. Splash up and open, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Curl back over your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a full breath in. You can empty it out through the mouth. Inhale up to the balls of the feet, gaze forward, soften your knees, step or float to the top of the mat on your exhale. Lift to a flat back when you get there, breathe it in. Empty into your legs, let your head release at the bottom. Circle up to stand, breathing in. Take your hands in high prayer, and then pull it on down through the heart. Like we did kneeling, roll the shoulder heads back, turn the palms open, draw the shoulder blades together, lift your sternum. And then you're going to exhale into Utkatasana, so you sit low with it. Inhale, straighten your legs, bring your hands to a high prayer. Exhale, pull the hands right down through the midline. Yeah. Roll the shoulder heads back, turn the forearms and hands up, breathing in. Exhale into your Utkatasana. Breathing in, lift to a little bit bigger back bend, and then dive all the way through to Uttanasana on your breath out. Lift to a flat back on your inhale. Step or float your way back through Chaturanga on your exhale. Roll it open, breathing in. Find the top, the width of the very fullness of the inhale, and then curl back over your toes on your exhale. Right leg reaches high, breathing in. Step it to the inside of the right hand, breathing out. Turn your left heel down. High prayer for warrior one today. So sweep the arms up, inhaling. Straighten through the right leg as you bring your hands right down through the midline. It's like a big smudge. Roll the shoulder heads back. Turn the forearms and hands open. Inhale, flex the right foot. So you're actually lifting. And then exhale to offer it up. So the arms reach forward as you bend the right knee. Yeah. So it's almost in a diagonal line through the back body. Take your left hand down. Tuck your left toes. Turn from your belly. Inhale, twist to the right. Yeah, keep the left and right hips even. Three-legged chaturanga on your exhale. So the right hand lowers, the right leg slides back as you bend your elbows. Let's get that out of your face. Upward facing, roll it open, even out. Lift your thighs, yes, Tamar. And then downward facing, tuck your toes, send your hips high. Left leg lifts, breathing in. Draw the knee into the nose, connect to the navel, step it forward. Back heel down. Warrior one, rise on up. Inhaling. The hands move down through the third eye into the heart as you straighten up through the left leg. Yeah. Shoulders roll back. Roll it open. Soften up. And then send it out. Bend your left knee. Find the lines of energy from the hands to the shoulders to the hips. Yes. Inner right thigh moving to the back wall. Right hand releases down, tuck the right toes, twist to the left from your belly, breathing in. Try to stack your shoulders vertically. And then three-legged chaturanga, breathing out. So the left leg goes back as you bend your elbows to lower. Even out for upward facing, point your feet. Coil the heart open. And then back over the toes for downward facing. Yes, people. Take a full breath in. You can empty it out with a sigh. Lift to the balls of the feet, breathing in, gaze forward, soften the knees, step or hop to the top on your exhale. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, lift your chest, make space in the waist, and then empty in. Utkatasana, breathing in, sit low, sweep the arms up, and come to stand for a moment. So we're going to take it around the mat on the next round. So the front of the mat will be the back of the mat. The back of the mat will be the front of the mat. And we'll just work our way around. Because we can. Arms circle high, breathing in. Lifting upwards. And then pull it down through prayer. Connect to your navel. Roll the shoulders open, breathing in. And then it's Utkatasana, drop extremely low this time. Inhale, lift up one last time. Empty into Uttanasana, breathing out. Lift the heart, gaze forward. Step or float your way back on your exhale. Chaturanga. Or skip it and go to downward dog. That's always welcome. So we'll send the right leg up with a big breath in. And step it forward to the inside of the right hand. Left heel down. Warrior one, inhaling, take it up. Straighten up through the right leg, bring the hands right through center. Draw the navel back toward the spine. Roll it open, offer it up, breathing in. And then reach it forward as you bend the right knee, both arms reach out in front of you. Now this time you're going to take the right arm by your side and hug the right hip back slightly. So the arms are reaching in two different directions, which might help you balance somewhat. So you're going to circle the left arm up, turn the right toes in, and lengthen your tailbone down. So you open up like a star. Pick up your left toes, turn your left toes to the back of the mat, warrior two. Track your knee right over your ankle. Now reach your right fingertips back where you came from and stack your right shoulder over your right hip. Descend your left thigh slightly and lengthen through the left side of your waist if you can. And we'll tip it back into peaceful warrior with the breath in. Lift the left arm up as you reach the left shin forward. Release your forearm to your thigh, breathing out, and sweep the right arm overhead. You might angle your right toes forward just slightly toward the left foot, and then send your tailbone back down toward your right heel. Yes. Back to reverse warrior with the breath in. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat and send your left leg high for a three-legged chaturanga if you want it. Or take it easy and step back into downward dog. Left leg lifts, breathing in. Step it through on the breath out. Virabhadrasana 1, inhaling. Exhale, bring the hands through prayer, straighten the left leg and connect to your navel center. Open the hands like a book, roll the shoulders back, breathing in, flex your left foot. So you lift the ball of the foot and then offer it up and spill forward, drawing the left hip back, grounding the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Yes. Now sweep the left arm down and toward the back wall. So the right hand's reaching forward, the left hand's reaching back. Yeah. Inhale, circle up to a star shape facing the left side of the room. Turn the right toes around to the front. Warrior two, land. Get nice and even. See if you can bring the bottom front ribs back down into the body. And then tip it back for peaceful warrior on your next breath in. You can release your forearm to your thigh, breathing out. You may have to adjust your left toes just slightly. Roll long through the right rib cage And bring it forward slightly as you wrap the left ribs back. And then peaceful warrior on your inhale, stay low through the right thigh. Take it down, cartwheel the hands to the ground, send the right leg up or step it back. Breathing in and out. One more round here. Reach your right leg to the sky, breathing in. Step it forward to the top. Rise up to Virabhadrasana 1, inhaling, high prayer, and then pull it on down through the midline as you straighten up through the right leg. Flex the right foot, roll it open, breathing in, and then send it out there. Keep the navel lifting you. The right arm reaches back behind you. Inhale, circle up to the side wall. The right toes turn in. Left toes turn out. This time, triangle pose. Send your hips way back as you slide your hand down your shin. Yeah, so you're docking the hips back toward the front of the room where you came from. Reach through the ball of the left foot to tip your right hip open. And then bring your left hip underneath your right hip. Yes. Spread out through your left toes. And reach through the ball of the foot. Yeah. There you go. And then with a big breath in, reach your right arm overhead, everybody. Get longer through the right waist. And then you're going to circle the right arm down across the face. Tense your right fingers at the middle of the mat. So you're actually turning back to the side. Yeah, the left toes turn to parallel. Inhale your left arm up. So our feet are parallel. It's a straddle forward bend. But then bring your spine into a horizontal place and see if you can stack the shoulders vertically. So you may have to nudge the right hip back toward the front of the room to level off the sacrum as you reach down through the right arm and up through the left. Yeah. Now wrap the left arm behind your back. See if you can take your hand around the top of the right thigh and roll the left shoulder back. You might relax your head here too. Why not? So there's a lifting through the inner arches of the feet all the way up through the inseams of the legs. From here, both feet will shift back to the front of the room. Bend your right knee. Bring either your forearm to your right thigh or your hand to your right ankle. So it's extended side angle with a half bind. So the left arm is wrapped behind your back. Now lift your lower belly and lengthen your tail back down your left leg. So you're bringing your hips underneath you and then peel the heart open and the shoulders back. See if you can root through the feet. Keep your left arm behind your back and reach your right arm forward with the breath in. Yeah, so there's a continuous line from the right hand to the left foot. And it's special. Bring your left shoulder back just a notch. On your next breath in, peaceful warrior, with the left arm behind your back. Cartwheel your hands down. So the left arm's reaching overhead. Tuck the left toes, drag the right arm back. Take your left hand down. And then shift into side plank. The right leg will stack on top of the left. Left shoulder stacking over the left wrist. Some of you might step the right foot behind you into wild thing. Just stay lifted out of the left shoulder. Make space in the left shoulder. On your exhale, downward dog splits. So take your right hand down, tuck your left toes, send your right leg up. Yeah, from wherever you've been. Now walk your hands all the way to the back of the mat. Yeah, so the left heel lowers into the ground. Ardha Chandrasana right from there. So rotate the right hip up so it stacks over the left hip. Tense your left fingers and reach your right hand up to the sky. Yes, Kelly. Straighten out your standing leg. From here, so we're wide open. We're so wide open. Walk hand over hand back to the top of the mat. Keep that sense of lift. Bring your right knee to your upper right arm. Some of you might go into Kundanyasana B, tipping so far forward that the left leg lifts. Yes, Glenna. Even out your shoulders, loves. Gorgeous. You might go through a vinyasa. You might just go back to child's pose and take a moment. Yeah. Final. Inhale up to all fours. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Step it through on the exhale. Come on up to warrior one, breathing in. Pull the hands through prayer, straighten up through the left leg, breathing out. And then roll it open, inhaling. Offer it up on your exhale, bend the left knee, keep your pinky toe edge grounded. Now sweep the left arm back. So you can inhale and circle up to the side. Turn the right toes out, triangle pose. So the left toes have to come with you. Angle the left toes back around to the rear of the room. Yeah. And then reach through the ball of the right foot and lift through the right thigh. Yes. Imagine you're gripping a beach ball between your inner thighs, drawing earth energy up through your legs, into your hips and out your spine. And you can circle the left arm overhead with a big breath in. Sweep it down across the face, turn the right toes in. So the right hand can come down, left hand can come down, right arm reaches high. That's it. Now even out your hips. So the left hip probably needs to shift back to the front of the room, just a smidge. Tent your fingers even. Yeah, come up to tented fingers and then move, and then turn from your ribs. And try to stabilize the hips instead. Yeah, it can be really tricky here. Wrap the right arm behind the back. Release the left ear down toward your left shoulder. Peel the right shoulder back. Try to release the upper trap and neck. Now both feet are going to steer back around to the front of the mat. Bend your left knee. Extended side angle, even up on the forearm. Or hand around the ankle with the arm along the inside of the leg. So work the left hip open, yes, and then lean back. Reach your left shin forward just a smidge more, great. See if you can lift your left arm on a breath in, reach it straight out, and with your exhale, wrap the right shoulder back slightly. Sorry folks, inhale into reverse warrior, take it all the way back. Slow flow today. Circle your right arm overhead to the floor. Tuck your right toes and send your left arm to the back wall. And feel that oppositional reach again for a breath. Then take the right hand down. Yes, Josh. Side plank to the left. So you come to the outer edge of the right foot. Stack your feet. Spread your fingers out. So your right hand and the edge of your right foot are aligned along the mat. You can step it back with your left foot, lift up onto the ball of the left foot, and lift out of your right shoulder for your wild thing. And then downward dog splits, breathing out. Left leg goes up, right heel reaches down. Walk your hands back to the right foot, and immediately the hips start to rotate open to the left. Yeah. Tent your fingers, Tamar. Take your right hand a little further forward, Michael. Give yourself some room. And then flex your left foot. Get heavier through your left leg so that you could pick your right fingertips up off the ground like a little teeter-totter. Yes, girlfriend. And then we walk hand over hand back to the top of the mat. The left knee can bend. Take it up over the left arm. Bend your elbows. Push off the right toes. Fly, be free. Yeah, there you go. Kundanyasana V. Into maybe child's pose. Let's take a break. From your child's pose, gaze forward to the top of the mat. You're going to slide on through into cobra pose from here, a baby cobra. So you're going to scrape on through. Interlace your hands behind your back. And then reach your feet into the ground and press through the tops of the feet to help you float the bottom front ribs up even as you roll your shoulder heads back and reach the sternum forward. One more breath in, grounding the legs and lifting the heart. And then release your head to one side, unclasp your hands. You can let the hips sway right to left. So waking up the back body, the extensor, so that we can lift ourselves up off the ground and find balance there. So we're going to take one more version of Shalabhasana, this time with the arms reaching forward and the palms up. So it's sort of like that full pranam, but a little more intense. So arms reaching forward. Now inhale the legs and the arms, the chest and the thighs. Yeah, turn the pinky toes down though and lift from your inner thighs and grow longer. Yeah, and lifting higher. Shalabhasana with the arms in flexion. And then release yourself down, take a rest. You can press back into a child's pose from here. Inhale up to all fours. Downward facing, breathing out. Last standing sequence, I'm sorry, one more. Right leg high, breathing in. Step it forward to the top, breathing out. Warrior one, scoop it up, inhaling. And then bring your hands through prayer as you straighten the right leg. Roll the chest open, breathing in. So you've got this big offering. Now you're going to send it out. As you reach forward, spin the left heel up. Warrior three. Tip forward and lift the inner left thigh. Now bring your left knee into your chest on an inhale. Eagle pose. Wrap your left leg over your right. Left arm under your right. Cinch your left hip back. Send your fingertips forward and focus way out beyond them. You can bring your feet together closely. Utkatasana with eagle arms. Take your elbows to the right thigh. Drop your hips a little bit lower and send them back. And then you might be able to open the arms, keeping the left arm on the outside of the right thigh. Yeah, bend your knees and sit lower, Michael. There you go. So reach up with the right hand and try to splash the collarbones apart. Great. Lower down so low that the heels lift up off the ground. Yeah, you can reach your hands forward. Great, so you're in a perch. Awesome. Navasana. You know it. So find your boat pose. Breathe in, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower halfway, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, take it up. Cross your legs, downward dog. Traction the lower back by drawing the navel in and up as much as you can, setting the sitting bones down and lifting your toes up. Just the toe pads. No, heels down, toe pads up, Kelly. Yeah, there you go. So it's a very grounded feeling here. Now left leg lifts, breathing in. Step it forward to the top. Warrior one, inhaling. Pull it through your prayers, you straighten up through your left leg. Flex the left foot, roll it open, breathing in. Now as you reach forward, the back toes tuck, the right heel spins up. Warrior three with your arms extended forward. In flexion, actually, yeah. Good, unless you have a lower back issue, the hands might be happier in prayer. Try to even out the right and left waist. Now inhale, bring your right knee up into your chest, sweep your arms high overhead. Connect to your navel, wrap the right leg over the left, eagle pose. Right arm under the left arm. Sink your hips back and stretch your fingertips forward. Good, find that inward spiral through the thighs. The lifting through Mula Bandha. Steady gaze. Breathing into the back ribs. Bring your feet to meet. Sit low and take your elbows to the left thigh, right to the outside of the left thigh. And then see if the arms can splash open. You might need a block underneath your right hand. Yes! Open up your palms. Wrap your right hip back slightly. There you go. Now start to sink lower. The arms sweep forward. The heels will lift. Yeah. Maybe crow pose. Taking your hands forward, the knees would separate. You can lift the hips here. So the knees are squeezing onto the backs of the arms. Great. Lower your feet, bring your feet together. Yeah, very close together this time, knees apart, and allow your heels to melt down toward the ground. So this is another variation of Malasana garland pose with the feet together. You can rest your forearms on the mat or even on blocks. Send the heels down, breathe into the lumbar, and then see if you can wrap your arms around the front of the shins, and the backs of the hands might press against the back of the sacrum. So the heels are reaching toward the ground. That doesn't mean they're going to get there today or any day. That's just the direction. Garland pose. Like the flowers on a lei. You can lower down through your heels very carefully, and then we'll send the legs out in front of us tabletop, breathing in, hips high. So lift them up. Lion's breath. You can lower down onto your backs with your heels close to your sitting bones. See if you can graze your heels with your hands. And if you can't, bring the heels in a little closer. Reach through the feet, lift your hips on a breath in. If your hands aren't clasping underneath you, then take your hands around the edges of the mat and try to externally rotate the shoulders, drawing the upper arm bones up underneath you. You can also put a block under your sacrum. Take a more restful, supported back rib and what? Yeah. And then bring your heels in a little bit. Yeah, and then engage your inner thighs. There we go. Relax your throats while you're here. See if you can float the toe pads up off the mat in your bridge too. Yeah. And then you can release your hands, lower down sequentially, upper, middle, lower back. And allow the knees to swing side to side loosely, right and left. So it's this width across the chest, right? So it might help you out, right? All this repetitive arm motion we've been doing, all these gestures. The gestures of goodwill and heart opening, generosity of spirit. Hey, so see if you can reach your hands down for your heels and maybe lift up into your bridge that way. You could also put a strap around your ankles. If you're unable to reach your hands around your ankles with your fingers, you can give yourself a little help with a prop. You could also use a block under your sacrum again. Prop the heart up. And then release and relax. You're welcome to come into Urdhva Dhanurasana if you have a healthy spine and shoulders. Stretching the arms to the sky, bending the elbows, planting the palms behind the shoulders, drawing the elbows in. Bring your feet in a little bit, Tamar. Yeah. There you go, girl. The second row's got the right idea. Like piecing out. So if you're up on a block, gently take it out from underneath you. Take your feet mat width, so it's pretty wide, knees bent. And then drop your knees over to the left, cactus your arms, and gaze over your right arm. Yeah. And then imagine a little extra weight through the back of the right hip. Some of you might cross your left foot over the top of your right knee. If the weight in your imagination isn't quite enough. And bring your feet back to the ground and switch, the knees falling to the right side of the room. Your gaze to the left. Crossing the right ankle over the top of the left thigh, maybe, maybe not. Bring your knees back up through center. Catch the outer edges of your feet. Happy baby. So you can even use your elbows to nudge the knees wider as you hug the heels in. So the heels and the knees are stacking vertically here. Now press your sacrum down into the ground. So your tailbone actually lengthens forward to the front of the mat. And then inhale and stretch your spine out of the hips. Feel the rhomboids draw together on the back body, right behind the heart, to spread your collarbones a little wider. Open your chest upwards. And then peel the pinky toe edges of the feet down toward the ground a little bit more, so you open the soles straight up to the sky. Yeah. And you can relax the shape a little bit, start to rock forward and back, and rock all the way up to sit. Yeah, you can cross your legs. I'm going to borrow your block. So we're going to check in with Mandukasana today. Yep, it's that kind of a day. So you're going to slide the blanket to the left side of your mat. Josh, you might just have to scoot over a little bit. So the blanket unfolded into a rectangle shape. So the blanket is not on the mat. It's to the left side. So it's similar to the alignment of Happy Baby in that the ankles and the knees are stacked and the hips are between the knees. So it's frog pose. Your knees, ankles are aligned. Hips right between the knees. Now, if your hips are on the ground, you're probably cheating. Right? This is cheating. So we're aligning the joints, and then the knee that's on the blanket, the leg that's on the blanket might slide out to the side. You could put a block underneath your bottom front ribs. That might be nice. So we're going to hang out for a few breaths in Mandukasana. Super second chakra vibes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's definitely not everyone's favorite pose. Is it anyone's? That's the question. Kelly. Move your hips back a little bit. Yeah. And flex your feet, dear. There you go. And keep breathing. So there is a little energy lifting up through Mula Bandha here. Lifting up through the lower belly here. Sorry, sugar. Okay, love. Meow. How's that? You okay? So your left leg might slide out another millimeter or two. If you feel like you're overstretching, back off. And coming out of it is the real trick. Climbing up onto your forearms. You're going to slide the left leg back in toward the mat. Bring your knees together. And then separate your feet. So the counter pose is Virasana, hero's pose. So knees together. That's very likely that you'll want to prop your hips up. So you can use your blanket or your block to do that. Point the toes straight back. And then give yourself a little foot massage here. Use your knuckles. Yeah, and get into the pressure points in your feet. Ooh. You can guide the pinky toes down into the ground. Toes pointing straight to the back wall. If your hips are on the ground, only if they're on the ground, you might start to recline. If your hips are propped up on a block or a blanket, I would stay upright. You can turn your hands open in the Pushpaputa Mudra. Whether you're reclining or sitting upright in Virasana, slow down the breath and start to meditate. What you're offering up to the world, what you're receiving, what you're attracting. Generating what you'd like to see more of. And if you're reclining, start to make your way up. It may take a moment. Yeah. You can start to shift your weight forward back onto your hands. And you might pitter-patter out through the feet a little bit. Whew, yeah. You're going to cross the shins behind you. So if there's a block there, move it out of the way. So cross your shins like you're coming back through Sukhasana, and you pretty much are. So you can use your hands to help you. Yeah. Nice. And then reach your legs out in front of you. You can shake them out a bit. If you're at the back of your mat, scoot yourself forward. Roll your blanket up, and let's take it under the knees to make it a little sweeter. So one very soft, forgiving Paschimottanasana, folding in. With the feet hip width apart. Drawing the pinky toe edges of the feet back. Taking the back teeth away from one another so there's space there. You can even rest the tongue right against the roof of your mouth behind the front teeth. Feel the air traveling up over the back of the throat. You can roll down from here into Shavasana. With the palms open, eyes closed. And let your breath deepen. Observing how the chest fills and lifts, how the heart sort of bubbles up. And then release the breath out. Let the heart drop. Dance with that a few rounds. Just feeling how the breath animates your whole body. And stretch the arms overhead, reach long through the legs. You can curl on over to your right side, passing through fetal pose. And use the blanket there to sit on as you help yourself up. So you can sit right up on the edge of it. So I'll finish with the legs a little wider. So it's actually Siddhasana instead of Sukhasana. See if you can stack your heels one on top of the other. So the heels stack like this. And then your toes sort of tuck between the inside of the calf and the thigh. Yeah. So it's a little wider. So the siddhis are perfected beings, right? The siddhis are like magical powers. Yeah. And you can open your hands and offer it up. Pushpaputa mudra. Eyes turned in and up to the brow. Or Om Shanti 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 Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.